Hey y'all. So today I wanted to come on and talk to you guys about God and how He fights on our behalf. He fights for you, He has your back when no one has it. And before you scroll, before you don't want to hear this, listen to me. If you've ever been caught in a situation where you feel like you are by yourself, you need to hear this. Okay. So on my way home from work, I was driving and I just remembered how God kept me. And when I say He kept me, I mean He kept me. I was going through a divorce a couple years ago. And while I was going through divorce, it felt like my everybody split. Everybody felt like they gravitated towards my ex-husband, and I didn't have the support of the family that I thought I had. Okay? So, just let me set it up for you. It was me. I had my two kids. They were toddlers at the time, I think around 4 or 5. I spoke to my mom and I said, "Hey, mom, we're having a divorce. I would like your help. Is it okay if I come to your apartment? Because now that my ex husband is moving out, I don't have anywhere to go and I can't stay where I'm at because the lease is going to be, the money is going to be too much. The rent is going to be too much for me to pay." She said, "No problem, as long as when you do stay here that you obviously contribute to the bill." So I said, "Okay, mom, is it okay if I am able to pay half of the rent?" She said, "Sure." So the plan was her husband was to pay the utilities and half of the rent, and I was just paying half of the rent. So yeah, that's what it was. Um and as a result, what ended up happening is we ended up moving by my mom. And during that time, my mother was using my benefits at work, right? And I told her, because what ended up happening is that people started getting pulled into the office for using benefits, taking advantage of the benefits. And it was for doing something that she was doing with my benefits. So I reached out to her and I said, "Hey, can you please limit using the benefits because people are being pulled into the office for doing the same thing that you're doing. I hope that you can, just bear a little patience because I don't want to lose this job because obviously this is all I have. I'm going through divorce. I'm going to court right now. And this is my bread and butter." So my mother got offended. She got really upset. She started basically telling family members that I told her that she cannot use my benefits, which was not true. And she got upset. As a result, she asked me to leave. She went, got a paper mailed to me, and the paper told me that I had 30 days to leave my mother's house with my kids, my 4 and my 5-year-old. So at that time, like I said, I was divorced. I was with my ex-husband for a long time. And I did not have a credit card. I didn't have any credit. I didn't have any finances left over because we were living paycheck to paycheck, but we were still together. So guess what happened to me? I started asking if I could find a real estate agent, and I just figured I'm going to figure out a place to stay. We went all around Brooklyn looking for places to stay, could not find a spot. And then my friend at the time, it was an old coworker, she said to me, "Ayana, I have a place right now. I have somebody else living there. I'm going to tell the person to get out and I'm going to let you go there with the kids because, I want you to be there instead. No problem." She told them to leave. They were not paying rent. Apparently they were missing a couple months. And then I ended up going there. So once I got there, she was just like, "Oh, well," she ended up, the reason she wasn't there is that she had a job opportunity. So she moved to Seattle, but she had owed rent. And plus, the person who was staying there owed rent as well. So when I moved in there, she told me, "Oh, it's just a little bit of rent I could pay." And she was hoping that the other person that was there would pay their back rent, but they were so upset that they had to move. They left without paying the rent. So now my friend, after me moving in there, taking everything from my mother's house, I was thinking that, okay, well, it's just a little bit of rent. Once I got there, it was more money that was owed than I expected. About like $6,000-7,000. It was a lot of money, and I didn't have it. And so my friend kept on saying, well, you got to pay the back rent. You got to pay all the back rent. And I'm like, well, I mean, I know you helping me out, but that's a lot of money to pay. I don't have all of that. And she's like, oh, well, you got to figure it out by this time. So now I was panicking because now I can't ask my mom. I have nowhere to go. I have my 2 kids. And so then I said, you know what, let me try to get money out of my 401k. So I didn't want to use my 401k in the beginning because obviously I'm going through a divorce and those are things that they have to split. But she didn't care. It wasn't something that was on her mind. She just wanted the rent paid and all of the money off of her name because her name was on the lease. So as a result, I was like, all right, I got to do what I got to do. I did not get the money out in time, right? I got the 401k money, but it took a while for it to come to my account. And she was very upset and she asked me to leave. So now I started panicking. Where was I going to go? Who was I going to speak to? What was I going to do? So I cried, I prayed, I tried to find out what I could do. I actually had a case with a CPS, and I asked the lady who is my caseworker if she could help me out. She was very kind to me. She was telling me that I lose my train of thought. She was telling me that she can allow me to get into a shelter. She could hook me up and put me in a shelter. And I started crying. I did not want to go into a shelter. Like, I have a car, I have a job, I have everything I need. I can't go into a shelter because I don't even have nobody to watch my kids when I go to work. Like, it was just going to be way too much. And I didn't know what to do. Let me tell you something. I got a call from my uncle. My uncle in the Caribbean was like, Ayana, go to the management company and tell them the truth. And I was like, tell them that I moved in here illegally, staying in my friend's apartment. Like, what are they going to do? Excuse me. He's like, just tell them the truth and see if they'll allow you to stay. And now, this is like Christmas time. It is cold. It is Brooklyn. And talking about one of these buildings that's super cramped, old school. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So this guy came. I called the management company. He told me that he's going to be in the building a couple days. And when I see him, I can have a conversation with him. I came, had a conversation with him, super nervous, heart beating out of my chest. I'm like, this is the situation that I am in. I got here, didn't know this is the amount of rent. She asked me to go now, but I have nowhere to go. I have my 2 kids. Can you help me? You know what he said to me? He said, the only way that you're going to stay here is if I raise the rent. The rent can't be the same. I said, okay, how much is the rent going to be? He said $1,500. The rent that I was paying by her, because when I moved in, I already paid a month's rent, and she wanted me to pay more. So I paid already, it was like $1,270, something like that. And he was like, I'm going to bring it up to $1,500. And at first I was like, bro, $1,500, like, where am I going to get the extra money from? And then he was like, if you want to stay, you got to pay. It's like, okay. Then he told me that the lady is owing a lot of money. I need to pay the back rent. And so I haggled with him. I was like, please, I understand that you're losing money, but please, can you let me pay half of the rent? Can you bill her for her half? Because I will pay half of the back rent, but not the whole thing. He was like, fine. So I ended up paying about, I think about $3,000, something like that, or $4,000, but it would just be considered 1 month's rent, 1 month's security. I got that apartment. He put my name on the lease. He asked me for only my ID. They never gave me a credit check. They just wanted money. They wanted money. My social security number was not given. Let me tell you, the apartment wasn't the best. I'm going to be honest. It was small, rickety. The bathroom, It was leaking. It was like mold growing. Honey, let me tell you something. That apartment, me and my kids sat down there in that apartment on a blow up mattress, and all our bags and all of my clothes, all my kids' clothes in garbage bags. And I was happy. I don't care if there was a mouse on the floor. I don't care. That was my place with my name on it, and God gave it to me. Do you understand how that made me feel? Bro, I never cried so much. I was so grateful. I was so grateful that God came through for me. God fought on behalf of, that man could have rented it to anybody. He could have renovated it. He could have given it to anybody and bumped up the rent more. But this man was kind. Again, I stayed there almost 4 or 5 years. I did not have a lease. I mean, I had a lease. I'm sorry. I did not get a credit check at all. They didn't care. Everywhere else I'm going to, you need credit check. You need, this fee, landlord fee, this thing. Not me. God gave me that apartment. And when everybody else said no, God said yes. God checked for me, Ayana, and he will do it for you. So it don't matter if they don't check for you. It don't matter if the door is closed. God is the only one that can open it. And that's why I'm trying to tell you, he fights for you. He fought for me. Nobody can tell me that. And I'm going to end this video just now, but I wanted to let you know, I told you that the apartment was bad, right? Let me tell you something. The time I got there, my super at the bottom, he was in the basement. He was like this Trinidadian man. He was super nice, but he smoked his little weed, and I didn't bother that man because I was just grateful to have an apartment. He knew the apartment was bad, and he said to me, if you need anything, let me know. I was like, okay. And then he's like, when he would come in, he'd be like, oh, your walls need to get painted and this needs to happen. And then I was like, no problem. I'll just tell them. He's like, no, I could do it for you. This man fixed the floor that was uneven. He redid my entire kitchen. Got me brand new. Well, it's used, but it was new to me. Stainless steel appliances. I got an oven. I got a new refrigerator. Okay. Then I had an issue with the leak in the bathroom. He fixed my bathroom. Okay. He redid everything. He painted everything for me. My apartment was made brand new for me without me begging. God sent that man to fix it for me. Anything I needed. If I locked my keys, that man was right there for me. You can't tell me that ain't my God. You can't tell me that he don't supply all of my needs without me asking. I'm sorry, I get excited. Nobody is gonna be perfect in your life, right? Because we're not perfect, right? But God. If there's anybody that you need to trust, it's God. So anyway, that's my testimony. I gotta go. Guys, love you. Have a good day. Bye.